This week on the Hooters Tour with Lee Moore and Kim Breel.
Coming up this half hour, we'll meet our Naturally Fresh Points champion, who picked up the $100,000 check. We'll also crown a first-time champion on the Hooters Tour, along with a feature on Hooters professional Dennis Zinkon, along with a player's tip right after this.
Don't miss out on the Hooters 500, the most exciting racing event of the year, and a ticket package you can't get elsewhere. The package includes Hooters 500 reserved seats in the Eastern Grandstand, the ARCA Championship Saturday, and an invitation to the Champions Party on the floor of the Georgia Dome Saturday night. A farewell tribute to Harry Gant, drivers, crews, cars, the Miss Hooters 500 contest, and party to the live music of Charlie Daniels. These are the tickets and party everyone's talking about. So call 1-800-HOOT-500. That's 1-800-466-8500.
How many times has this happened to you? It's after work, you're hungry, you want to have some fun, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. Impossible? Not at Hooters. That's right, Hooters. And here's how. How much would you expect to pay for a nearly world-famous chicken wing? $5, $1, 50 cents? No, just 10 cents. Still not convinced? Watch this amazing demonstration. Come into any Hooters restaurant and take advantage of this incredible offer. Order now. Waitresses are standing by. Some restrictions apply. See individual stores for details.
So I said to Henny, of course chickens are more important to Hooters than owls.
Who?
Chickens, that's who.
I beg to differ.
Well, peg all you want. Without chickens, there'd be no chicken sandwiches or chicken salad. Or Hooters' famous chicken wings. There'd be no Hooters if it weren't for chicken.
It's really not wise to even argue the point.
That's because I'm right.
No, that's because you're not going to be around long anyway. Chicken.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gainesville, Florida, and the third annual Naturally Fresh Golf Classic. I'm Lee Moore.
And I'm Kim Breel. This is the final event of our regular season. We're at the Heritage Links Country Club, and there's a lot on the line this week.
You can say that. Now, foremost is the battle between what has come down to two players for the $100,000 Naturally Fresh bonus check. Now, to refresh your memory, last week, prior to our tournament, over in Jacksonville, Florida, Andy Morris held the lead 197 points over the second-place guy, who was Ricky Smallridge.
Then, in a dramatic turn of events, Andy missed the cut at the Hooters Classic, while Ricky finished third place, picking up a little over 160 points. So the deficit was narrowed, and coming into this week, the question was, could Ricky continue to mount his charge, or could Andrew get back on track?
You said that right. Now, that battle, like the contest for the $100,000 purse, which is on the line in this event, is going to be contested on this well-manicured par 72, nearly 6,800-yard golf course. With that in mind, let's pick up on rounds 1 and 2, and we'll keep in touch with Andy Morris and Ricky Smallridge. Good weather greeted the players Thursday morning, and the early focus is going to be on Smallridge and Morse. But before day's end, a couple of other names will be good sidebar stories. The Hooters Tour is going to make history in this event by extending a special exemption to Brenda Keene. She's the 8th-ranked amateur woman in the U.S., and before she's finished in this event, Brenda's going to make a very good showing by posting two-day scores of 78-72, and she drew praise from her fellow players with her ability to drive, chip, and putt. For Brenda, even though she will not survive the cut, it was a great experience.
It's definitely very tough. I don't know if you can really, truly compete to the caliber that these guys are playing. I feel that the advantage on the distance on how they strike the ball is a big advantage.
Andy Morris is playing his first 9 starting at number 10, and we'll pick him up at hole number 15. This is a par 5. Andy leaves a chip shot long, and he'll end up with a par on this hole. At 16, Andy's going to pick up a routine par. Then at 18, he again will get a par 4. Andy's first day score of 1 under par 71 is going to put him right in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, Ricky Smallridge is working on a 3-under par 69, and at hole number 2, he'll sink this putt for a birdie, and that's a birdie 3. At the next hole, Smallridge gets his par. Now playing in the same group with Ricky is Dave Schreier out of Peachtree City, Georgia. He's going to 2-putt here for a par. Schreier, though, is going to have a fantastic day, and he's working on a 7-under par 65, which will leave him just one shot behind the leader after 18 holes. Smallridge is going to par number 4, and check this out at number 5, a par 3. Ricky puts his tee ball within 1 inch of the hole. He'll tap in for his birdie. Round 1 again has Eddie Pierce as a leader. He fired an 8-under par 64, while 4 players are tied with 65s. Morris has a 71, and Smallridge a 69. Day 2, and again, Ricky and Andy will get the attention, but there's also a race for the $100,000 purse. This is all taking shape right now. Paul Claxton, one of the stars of this tour, is going to run in this birdie putt on the par 5 15th. And before the sun sets, Paul's going to shoot a 66, and he's going to put the field on notice. Andy Morris gets a par at the same hole, and at 16, Morris is going to get his second shot about a foot from the hole for a birdie 3. At 17, Claxton's going to sink this for another birdie, and that's going to put him 6 under for the day. Morris par 17, but for the second day in a row, Andy is going to bogey hole number 18. We'll go back and pick up Smallridge at number 5, and for the second day straight, Ricky is going to make birdie, only this time from about 10 feet. Ricky's going to follow his first round 69 with a 68 or 4 under par score, which puts him 7 under par after 2 rounds. Andy Morris, though, had problems on his final 9 holes, and even though he'll get up and down in 2 on his final hole, the par 4 9th, it's not enough to make the cut. His 2-day scores of 71-73 leaves him at even par for 36 holes, and with 62 players making the cut at 2 under par 142, Smallridge needs only to finish 56th or higher to claim the $100,000 Naturally Fresh bonus check. 36 holes completed, and Monday qualifier Walter Smith of Lake City, Florida, on rounds of 67-66, has a narrow 1-stroke lead over Paul Claxton of Vidalia, Georgia. 2 strokes back, Lan Gooch of Houston, Mississippi, and Eddie Pierce of Tampa. 136 totals belong to Joe McCormick of Hutchinson, Minnesota, Jason Brown of Athens, Georgia, Lenny Matisse of Ponte Vedra, Florida, and Dave Miley of Valrico, Florida. There are 5 players sharing 9th place, 4 shots off the lead after 2 rounds.
When we come back, we'll take a look at Monday through Wednesday at the Naturally Fresh Classic at the Heritage Links Country Club.
Hi, I'm Lisa from the Atlanta Hooters. Stick around and we'll be right back.
Who's getting happy? Who's having fun? Who's been to Hooters? Come on, everyone, it's at Hooters. Hooters. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Good times, great food, fun music, what a hoot. Hooters. Hooters. Everybody's getting happy at Hooters.
Now swing your partner round and round on the best dang caller in this town.
You know, there are only a few Bud Lights left.
Okay! Head out the door, you gals and men. Don't stop till you hear from me again. Get on out of here. See ya. Say hello to your mama. Bye-bye.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
How we gonna get paid?
Everybody's getting happy at Hooters.
In our Monday qualifier, we had a good turnout, and 10 players were added to our field of 163. Medalist again was our halfway leader. That was Walter Smith from Plant City, Florida. He had a 3-under par 69. Now, 3 golfers were next with 2-under par 70s. They were Dane Bach, also John Whitmore, and Bob Bird. Here's some of the other guys that were added to the field. Nick Getz, also Richard Hinken, Tim Olson, Kenny Reese, Terry Brooks, Olin Calicut, Joe Hagan, Stan Gear, Juan Rodriguez, and John Robinson.
Next on the agenda was our Tuesday shootout that was sponsored by Willis Faber Company. The shootout featured 12 players and came down to a chip-off at hole number 9 to finally decide the winner. A couple of veteran players, Eric Johnson and Ricky Smallridge, blasted sand shots with Smallridge getting his within a foot of the hole for the win.
It was really exciting. Now, our Wednesday Pro-Am, which, thanks to the weatherman, we managed to play under ideal conditions. Didn't happen 2 weeks in a row. You might remember that. Now, we had ideal conditions here again. Now, we saw Hooters Pro Craig Bowden shooting a 65, and his team of McNew, Freeman, Robinson, and Wynick posted a score of 112 to get the victory.
An interesting event on Wednesday evening was our second annual tackle box fishing tournament. Hooters Pro Scott Gardner turned in just over 5 pounds of bass to take the $300 top prize along with a fishing rod. Now, Scott makes no claim to being an expert with a rod and reel and says there is more luck involved.
Yeah, you could say that again. Now, our player profile this week, no luck about this guy's game. He's just solid and good. Dennis Zinkon of Haines City, Florida. You might remember earlier in the year at Natchez, Mississippi, he lost there in the darkness and rain in the Coca-Cola Classic. He lost that one to Matt Ewing. Still, the former bartender turned golf pro keeps a good attitude and is one of the more popular players on the Hooters Tour.
Raw talent. Most would describe Dennis Zinkon as a natural with a golf club, especially after hearing his story.
Probably about 17 in the basement one winter in Michigan. Snowing, couldn't get outside, do anything in the snow, picked up a putter and started goofing around with it in the basement. And that spring, took a series of 6 golf lessons from a guy named Gary Whitner. It was a pro at 2 courses in suburban Detroit. And went out, never went on the golf course, just on the range. Went to a little public course, parred the first hole and shot 88 on the first round I played. And then went out for the golf team that fall. Made the golf team, was co-captain.
That same year, Zinkon led the Western Six, his conference, in scoring average. Only 1 year playing, how do you do that? After high school, Zinkon attended a 4-year community college in Florida on a golf scholarship. In 1991, he won the sectional qualifier, earning a spot in the U.S. Open.
Never made the cut, but the experience was they've come at the right time when you're getting a little bit fed up and wondering if you're doing the right thing. It seems like there's been something good always happen to keep you driving for another year.
An easy-go-lucky attitude, much like the demeanor of a Freddie Couples. Zinkon doesn't set unrealistic goals. His main goal is just being happy doing what he's doing.
Either be playing the PGA Tour or, like I said earlier, playing somewhere where I enjoy what I'm doing something I enjoy what I'm doing. That'd be my wish. Making a living, doing whatever it is I'm happy with.
Still ahead, I'll be out on the golf course with highlights on rounds 3 and 4 as the players go for the money in the Naturally Fresh Classic.
Hi, I'm Janet from the Atlanta Hooters. Stick around. We'll be right back.
So I said to Henny, of course chickens are more important to Hooters than owls.
Who?
Chickens, that's who.
I beg to differ.
Well, peg all you want. Without chickens, there'd be no chicken sandwiches or chicken salad. Or Hooters' famous chicken wings. There'd be no Hooters if it weren't for chicken.
It's really not wise to even argue the point.
That's because I'm right.
No, that's because you're not going to be around long anyway. Chicken.
Naturally fresh, simply delicious. Just wait and see. You'll taste the quality. Preservative free. We always have been, always will be. Naturally, it's simply delicious. Naturally fresh. It's a lifestyle.
Are you still drinking the old thing? Try the next thing, Powerade. With 33% more carbos than Gatorade and a taste you can really slam. Powerade, the next thing.
Walter Smith, the young player from Lake City, Florida, is going to start Saturday with a one-shot lead on the field. But before day's end, there will be a new name on top of the leaderboard.
Walter Smith's 11 par score going into the third round had 22 players within 5 shots. One of those players was Dennis Zinkon, whose approach shot on the 365-yard par 4 second hole left him this putt for birdie. He fires a 4-under par 68 and will be one back heading into Sunday. Mike Schwartz of Phoenix also gained a few positions. He also shot a 68 today for a 3-round total of 205 or -11. Again, one back of the lead. Lan Gooch of Houston, Mississippi had a very unsettling day. Picking him up on the 390-yard par 4 fourth hole, Gooch sinks this putt for a birdie 3, moving to 9 under par. He'll come back on number 5, the 155-yard par 3, and drain this putt for a deuce. Now at 10 under, he's looking in great position for Sunday. He'll lose 5 strokes to par in the next 3 holes, dropping to -5. A birdie at 14 gets Lan back to -7, where he'll finish the day 5 back of the lead. Dave Miley of Valrico, Florida, followed Friday's second round of 71 with a 3-under par 69. He'll join 5 others at 11 under par, one back heading into the final round. The man who will be your leader going into Sunday is Eddie Pierce of Tampa, Florida. Pierce will birdie number 4 with this putt. 2 holes later, Pierce birdies the 520-yard par 5. He'll birdie again at number 12, moving to 14 under par. Pierce will also birdie 15 before trouble sets in. A bogey at 16 drops Pierce to 14 under par. At hole number 18, Pierce will double bogey, falling to 12 under, but still good enough to hold a 1-stroke lead going into Sunday. Eddie Pierce is our third-round leader, even though he played his final 3 holes 3 over par. He still managed to post a 12 under par 204 score. He did allow a half a dozen golfers at 11 under to make Sunday a most interesting day. Those at 11 are Kelly Korleski of Clemmy, Iowa, who had the low round of the day with a 65, giving him a $100 check from Naturally Fresh Foods. Also in that group of 6 were Mike Schwartz of Phoenix, Hicks Melanson of Marietta, Georgia, Dave Miley of Valrica, Florida, Dennis Zinkon of Haines City, Florida, and Paul Claxton. There are 4 at 9 under par, including second-round leader Walter Smith, Brian Gay of Daleville, Alabama, and Jeff Gov of Seattle, Washington.
So Eddie Pierce, a 42-year-old former Wake Forest golfer, is going to be tested here, Kim.
Odds makers would have a tough time predicting the outcome of this tournament, as 14 players began the day in contention of the $15,000 first-place check. Brooke Tully of Hilton Head, South Carolina, started the day at -8 and quickly picked up a stroke on the 500-yard par 5 first hole. The first hole proved to be a confidence builder for most of the leaders. Walter Smith of Lake City, Florida, hit this approach close enough to sink a birdie putt. He moves to 10 under par. His playing partner today is Marion Dantzler. He also takes a birdie on the first hole to move to 9 under par. Brian Gay of Daleville, Alabama, hit a nice approach to number 1, leaving this putt for a birdie. He moves to 10 under par. Gay, after rounds of 67, 71, 69, finds another birdie on hole number 9. And with this putt, moves to 11 under for the tournament. Dave Miley of Valrico, Florida, was one of 6 players at 11 under starting the final round, 1 stroke off the lead. Miley will go to 12 under quickly at the first hole, and by the time he made the turn, Miley was tied for the lead at 14 under par. This birdie at number 9 in the rain made that possible. Eddie Pierce of Tampa, Florida, was another player who had it to 14 under. Pierce, our third-round leader, birdies the first hole to go to 13 under par and would pick up another birdie before making the turn. After a 2-hour rain delay before tee times began this morning, the players would play in heavy rains for about an hour and a half before play was called at about 4 p.m. With the washout, Eddie Pierce is your third-round leader and also the champion of the Naturally Fresh Classic.
And I was prepared to come up here and win. I had a real good practice round. The golf course is very similar to the one I grew up in Temple Terrace. So it's short, and you got to drive the ball well, and a lot of wedges. And so thanks Dave Pells for helping me out, and that's what got me my win.
Our final leaderboard again. Eddie Pierce with a 204 total wins by a stroke over 6 players, log-jammed one back at 205. They are Kelly Korleski of Clemmy, Iowa, Hicks Melanson of Marietta, Georgia, Mike Swartz of Phoenix, Arizona, Dennis Zinkon of Haines City, Florida, Dave Miley of Valrica, Florida, and Paul Claxton of Vidalia, Georgia.
In a couple of minutes, we're going to be back to check on our final money list, and you're going to meet our points champion, along with Jack O'Keefe, one of our fine young players. Jack's going to show you how to properly grip a golf club.
Hi, I'm Betty Jo from Atlanta Hooters. Stick around. There's more golf when we return.
One final question, Mr. Parkhill. Have you ever been to a Hooters restaurant?
Not to the best of my recollection.
Never had Hooters' nearly world-famous chicken wings?
Or the Big Hoot salad? Not to the best of my recollection.
Mr. Parkhill, we simply cannot confirm anyone for this post who has never been to Hooters.
How many times has this happened to you? It's after work, you're hungry, you want to have some fun, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. Impossible? Not at Hooters. That's right, Hooters. And here's how. How much would you expect to pay for a nearly world-famous chicken wing? $5, $1, 50 cents? No, just 10 cents. Still not convinced? Watch this amazing demonstration. Come into any Hooters restaurant and take advantage of this incredible offer. Order now. Waitresses are standing by. Some restrictions apply. See individual stores for details.
Our girls earn their wings every day.
Hooters, it's not just a restaurant, it's an adventure.
Jack O'Keefe went to school at the University of Arkansas, but he took up the game of golf a long time before that. And one of the first things that Jack learned was how to properly grip a golf club.
Hi, I'm Jack O'Keefe of the Hooters Jordan Tour, and today's tip is going to be about the grip. And the main thing about the grip is when you grip the club, you want to have your left hand. First of all, you want to grab it in your fingers and rotate the hand around like that. And with the left hand, you picture a clock. You want to have the left thumb pointing at 1 o'clock, just to the right of the grip a little bit. And then you put the right hand on here, and you want the right thumb to be pointing at 11 o'clock. So we have the left thumb pointing at 1 o'clock and the right thumb pointing at 11 o'clock. And that ensures us of a good grip. Now when we grip the club, we want to hold it tight enough that we can hold on to it, but not too tight that we create a lot of tension in the hands. Because the tighter the grip, the more hard it is to hit a good golf shot. And we want these V's in our hand to go up our right shoulder here, so we have a nice firm grip. That way it enables us to hit a good shot. And the main thing with the grip, like I said, you just want to keep a light, just like holding a bird. You just want to keep a nice light grip on the club so you can let the club head do all the work and hit a good shot.
For the last 20 weeks, we have made you aware that there's a lot of significance to our money list. The obvious is what the players are taking to the bank. It also serves as a measuring stick to determine our 32-man field for the Jordan Cup Match Play Championship at Whitewater Creek in Atlanta. Here are the final statistics of our official money at season's end. Dickie Thompson will leave as our official money leader through 20 tournaments with a little over $54,000. Ricky Smallridge is in at a tight second with a little over $53,000. The others in the top 10 include Paul Claxton, Eric Johnson, Andrew Morris, Brian Contact, Jimmy Green, Brian Gorman, Mike Swartz, and Craig Perks.
Our first ever Naturally Fresh Points Championship came down to the final event of the year. And as we mentioned earlier, with Andrew Morris and Ricky Smallridge, the last two men standing, in the dramatic fashion, Smallridge came from 197 points off the pace the last 2 weeks to finish with a rush and take the $100,000 check.
I felt like I didn't have a really good chance, and so I mean, my goal was to just I had to play good. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I had to play well, and then that's all I could control, you know. And unfortunately for Andy, he missed the cut and didn't play well, which, you know, his misfortune turned into my good fortune, and so, you know, a lot of things happened. You know, the scenarios had to be a certain way, and for whatever reason, it worked out, you know, to my benefit.
Next year, the players in the points race will be going for $250,000, and several players will pick up checks on that.
Yep, not me, probably not you, but a lot of players. Speaking of the bonus money, and next year, for the first time ever, the Hooters Tour now will conduct qualifying schools to find the best players for the 95 Tour. The 95 Tour is going to include 25 to 30 events, purses of at least $100,000, and our big bonus program at season's end. Now, here's where qualifying sites will be located and the dates. So again, here's the 3 sites for the first ever Hooters Tour qualifying schools. December the 6th through the 9th at Desert Hot Springs, California at the Desert Dunes Country Club. Again, December the 6th through the 9th. December the 18th through the 21st in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Myrtle Beach National Golf Club. And January the 9th through the 12th in Corpus Christi, Texas at the North Shore Country Club. For more information, you can call our office at 800-992-8748. Next week, we're going to be at home at Whitewater Creek Country Club in Atlanta for the first ever Jordan Cup Match Play Championship. As we say goodbye, let's check out the 32 players that are going to play for the $25,000 first prize, plus fees paid for 8 players to PGA qualifying school that comes up later on.
This week on the Hooters Tour is brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky yet unrefined. Naturally fresh foods. Naturally fresh, preservative-free salad dressings, sauces, and dips. And by Bud Light. Make it a Bud Light. If you like the clothes that Kim and Lee are wearing, call the Hooters Merchandise Catalog at 1-800-961-2231. For all Hooters of America apparel.